Yelled at President Trump yesterday that works for Ford Motor Company today has a GoFundMe that's sitting over $700,000. And I am absolutely mind blown by this. And I'm not saying the guy was right or wrong. This isn't even about that. This is about where you're choosing to spend your money in an economy that is allegedly to where you can't afford groceries or milk for your children.
A lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response.
Any other president does this, it's like the biggest story of the month. Trump, it's like just another Tuesday.
Welcome to the Common Sense Philosophy channel. Today's video is called Auto Worker Suspended with $1 million GoFund. Auto Worker suspended with $1 million GoFund. Oh wow, that tells me, President Donald Trump, just him flipping you the bird is worth $1 million. Man, that's just funny to me. It's just funny. As you probably heard, President Trump visited Detroit, and then he was seeing the auto workers and looking at the plant. And while he was there, one of the auto workers decided they felt the way and wanted to speak on it. And they started to say that these things that was a little rambunctious, you would say, as far as regulations. And President Trump felt disrespected, and he said some things back to him a little across the line and shot him the bird. People heard about it, and they opened him a GoFund, and they running the numbers up. So this guy have $1 million GoFund for basically talking stuff to Donald Trump, the president. It's a very interesting thing, because I remember when a guy talked crazy to Biden, and they didn't really want to run his stuff up. So I guess it's a little different. I mean, since under President Biden, this other guy did, but they definitely ran this guy's up stuff fast within days. That's $1 million GoFund for getting the bird flipped at you from the president. So good or bad, money seems to always fall around President Trump in some way. Good, bad, beautiful, or ugly. That money be moving, And also shows you how much people, when they dislike you, like somebody, man, they'll put money up to try to go against you. Now, clearly he has more money than that, more power than that. But it just shows you in this type of economic situation that people don't have money to pay their rent, their none, stuff like that. And food, basically buy food. And they're willing to give all this money to this guy just because he said something to the president. Very interesting. Instead of take care of their family, they'd rather give him the money. But hey, thanks for coming by and checking out the Common Sense Philosophy channel. Like and subscribe on your way out. Remember, always use your common sense, but don't be afraid to philosophize. Also, on your way out, check these videos out so you can hear their perspective and leave your perspective. Go down in the comments, say how you feel, let people know what you're thinking, because your voice is important too. And it may help somebody or give them a different perspective. All right. Well, thanks for coming by, and I'm going to talk to you guys again soon. All right. Yep.
The Ford worker that said what he said to Trump yesterday while he was at one of the Ford plants in Detroit, baby, you did a good job. But I done read this morning that you were suspended. If I was there and working with you, baby, I would pull for you to get Employee of the Month, a raise, and whatever else, because what you did, although it was daring, you stood on business and you said what you said. And just know that a lot of us feel the way that you feel and what you said. But I had a feeling that they was going to do something. Now, I know they said that your suspension, they don't know how long it's going to be. But Just know you did the right thing. You did the right thing by saying how you felt here. But that's okay. Like I said to that Ford worker, yeah, I was pushing for you to get a raise, employee of the month, or something. But that's okay. God got you.
So recently, Donald decided to travel to Detroit to the Ford company that makes the Ford F-150. And for whatever reason, unknown to me, why he won, I can only think that it could be for ratings to make himself look good. Y'all know there's a rumor that he's running for election in 2028. And I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope that it don't happen. But apparently, while he was touring the facility, walking with his whole entire entourage of staff and security and his many armed people, someone yelled out some obscenities to him in the audience and called him a, such and such protector because of the Epstein. You guys already know the story on that. I don't need to go into details. So apparently, Donald flipped the employee off. Yes, gave him the birdie and dropped the F-bomb on him. So I'm hearing that employee is now suspended pending, whether he's going to keep his job or not. And my whole opinion on this is, regardless who he is, people have the right freedom of speech, man. People can express how they feel. Now I do know like companies like that, automotive companies like that are normally unionized companies. So right now the employee is just suspended. He hasn't been fired. He's suspended pending, I guess, a hearing.
Trump has made history by becoming the first president to flip off a U.S. citizen who was criticizing him. Yep, that's the first time that's actually happened. And the UAW union that supports the auto workers has thrown their full support behind TJ Sebula for doing this action, and they've issued a statement about it. The UAW statement is on their X account, and they said that TJ believes in freedom of speech, a principle we wholeheartedly embrace, and we stand with our membership in protecting their voice on the job. The UAW will ensure that our member receives the full protection of all negotiated contract language, safeguarding his job and his rights as a union member. Workers should never be subjected to vulgar language or behavior by anyone, including the President of the United States. Now, on top of this, a GoFundMe was created for TJ, and it now has raised over $365,000. I just checked it. I said this yesterday, and I still stand by it. TJ is a national hero, and apparently lots of other people think so too.
Listen, do you think that Trump actually understands what a working American, what working people are dealing with right now? He doesn't. He's out of touch, okay? This has to be all theater to him.
Went on to flip this worker off. He flipped them off, and the United Auto Workers Union has confirmed that he has been suspended. And his name is TJ Sabula, and there are actually 2 GoFund pages available.
I don't know. I'm the guy in the hard hat. I got into a confrontation with Joe Biden a few years ago in the Detroit auto plant, and recently Donald Trump had a disagreement with somebody as well. Here's what happened. A lot of people are asking me to weigh in on this subject, and I'm going to do exactly that for you right now. What happened was, apparently this guy said something vulgar to Donald Trump. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, is that he said that he was a pedophile protector, and Donald Trump obviously didn't like that too much. When it comes to Donald Trump flipping him the bird and stuff like that, I don't really care. Like, it's just language. I'd said the same thing when I was on Fox before.
The worst part of that exchange was Biden telling a voter that he was full of shit. But what was interesting is that factory worker went on Fox News today, and what he had to say was really different.
When you looked at this confrontation, it lasted for a long time. What's your response about his use of profanity?
I'm kind of used to it in the workforce, and as a politician, I can understand the way how things have gone. You're not supposed to use profanity, but in this day and age, it's a language. I'm not going to hate him for that. And I use it all the time. Most people use it all the time.
Wow.
I won't lie, I was impressed by that. You know, that factory worker still doesn't agree with Biden on guns. He wasn't pretending to be his friend. But what I liked is that he wasn't going to pretend to be offended by the profanity.
Now, is saying profanities and doing obscene gestures super presidential? Probably not. But it's important to note that everybody involved in both of these confrontations are men, and we should all act like it. Now, when it comes to suspension, it's also important to note that this is not coming from the UAW. This is coming from Ford. And the UAW is going to go to bat for this guy, which that's their whole purpose.